All right, guys, we got the truck loaded down this morning. We're getting ready to head out on our next adventure. It's gonna be a pretty decent sized little adventure for us anyways. I don't know, probably a couple videos come out of this, but we're gonna go pop in a basement for a contractor we do a lot of work for. So this is the first load going out. Got a little bit of ICF block there on the back we had left over in the lot. Got the D4G there. You guys seen that thing plenty of times. Then we got our brace rack. I think those were in one other video, one other time we poured a little basement. This is gonna be a decent sized basement. So there's all of our bracing. So we're gonna hit the road, head down there, get unloaded, get the basement laid off, and get started. All right, guys, we just rolled in down here. I'm sorry I'm meeting with Dennis. I missed a little bit, but Luke has already got the ICF unloaded. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but this is actually the job on the day in the life. Whenever I was out here measuring this off, videoing on everything, this was the life of the second job that day we went to look at when we wheeled everything off. So we are going to get the dozer and brace rack unloaded and then head back to Derby and pick up the 120 and head back down here and hopefully be ready to start building a basement tomorrow. I didn't do it. All right, so here's the deal on my homemade brace rack. We got two ways to unload it. The ideal way is the traco and lift it off. But we ain't got a traco here, all we got is the dozer. So I got the skids built on this thing and we got an eye down here on the end. So we're gonna hook it with a dozer and see what happens. Alright, that's probably not the most ideal way to unload that brace rack, but by golly, in a pinch, it works. The only piece of equipment you got is a bulldozer. It gets you by. So we were heading back to Derby, grab the 120, and come back, and hopefully start digging the basement. Alright guys, it's actually the next day down here. We just rolled in with the 120. Got a little sidetracked yesterday, but we're gonna get this girl unloaded and get up there, get topsoil stripped, get the basement laid off, establish the depth, and start digging a hole. All right, I'll give you guys a quick little overview. So there's a metal stake right there, metal stake right there. Basically the tall patch of grass is where the house goes. That's where the contractor's got it laid off. There's another tall patch of grass over here, and that's where the septic goes. So that is the absolute no-go, do not touch zone. So first thing we're gonna do is come in here and strip topsoil. Probably keep these stakes for markers, and then once we get topsoil stripped, not all this is basement. It's like 49 feet's basement, and it's got like a 30-foot garage on the end. So we're gonna strip topsoil on all of it, but the basement ain't quite that big. So fire up the old D4G, get a little topsoil stripped. We'll get the tape measure, string line, and some paint out, and get her marked out, and then start digging this a hole. Alright guys, here's actually the plans for the house. The tricky part is the house got flipped, so everything, it actually lays like this. So if you want to read the plans right, you have to read it through the back. This corner is that corner, yada yada yada. It's a square box and we're only putting the basement in, so we will get by. But look, Scott, we got topsoil stripped. We got everything squared up. We got the lines painted. I actually paint the wall line and then adjust for my overdig, so all my measurements match the plan. I ain't got to do a whole lot of extra math. Just, not that I don't mind doing math, it's just less room for error for me. That's what works for me. It may work different for other guys. But next thing we got to do is figure out our depth. And I'll show you what I did on this. This is the quickest, simplest way I know how to do it. The builder wants 2 feet. He wants the floor 2 feet above the ground. So this line here represents the ground. I just kind of threw this out. So we got a 12-inch floor system. We got a 9-foot poured wall. We got a 10-inch footer, and that's the bottom of the hole. We're going to use former drain, so the footer is going to sit on the bottom of the hole. So we got a total wall height, including floor system and footer, of 130 inches. He wants 24 inches above the ground. So that leaves a hole depth of 106 inches, which is 8 foot 10. It's actually like 8 foot 9 and 15/16, but we're going to round up to 8 foot 10. So basically we're going to find the deepest corner, which is up there, and we're going to shoot a grade, and then we will drop that rod 8 foot 10 inches, and that'll give us our bottom hole depth. So that is the next deal. Get the laser set up, and then we're going to start slinging some dirt. Got topsoil piled up way over there, and the dirt's going to go over here. He's not for sure what he's going to do with it yet. We may use it on the driveway. He may fill in down here. I did not screw up and strip over too far. The basement only goes to where the stakes are at, but there's a porch, 8-foot porch that sits out here, so we went ahead and stripped that while we were doing it. So we're going to get the laser set up and start digging a hole. All right, guys, we are finally digging on this basement. There's absolutely nothing too exciting or crazy fancy about digging a basement. It's kind of pretty much a methodical dirt moving, swinging job, which hopefully that's the way it goes. That's the way we want it to go, but there are a couple tricks to it, I guess. Like I said before, I marked the actual basement wall, and then I shoot for a 2-foot overdig, so I kind of know where 2 foot is on my bucket. It's basically between the last 2 teeth, and go from there. First thing you need to do is, and you'll probably see me here in a minute throw some dirt behind me, but this basement's being dug on a slope going down like this. So especially if you're digging these outside walls, or digging the outside perimeter, it really helps to keep the machine somewhat level and stable. I even like to keep it tilted like away from the basement. That kind of makes your outside wall have a slope out instead of a slope in, where you got less chance of it caving in on you. And then you just kind of got to read the dirt and know how deep you're going. I can already tell from this little bit of dirt coming out here, we're going to put a pretty good step in this wall to protect it. But I won't dig that step until I got my outside perimeter trenched down as deep as I can get. That way I don't lose my line or lose where I'm at. But other than that, it's just kind of thinking the job through, and all the dirt on this basement is going that way, so we start on this side of the basement. That way you're not trying to push dirt around the hole. You can push dirt across the top of the hole or through the hole, if that makes sense. But just kind of getting it set up to where you're the most efficient is probably the biggest thing to making it work out. The builder on this job, he's a little worried we're going to hit rock here. I don't know, it's looking pretty good so far. We could have hit it in a hurry, never really know. I guess they coal mined all the ground all around here back in the 70s, but for some reason this little spot here was spared, so it's still still all virgin dirt, so we ain't got to deal with any spoils or any remnants of the coal mine or whatever. But we're gonna dig here for a while and see what happens. I'll check back in with you guys from time to time, kind of let you know where we're at. Alright guys, give you a little idea of my thought process. We got 3 sides of the perimeter dug. One side, 2 sides, and then we got that side down there going. And we do have them dug to depth. So even if they get filled in with dirt a little bit, at least it'll be easy to figure out where we're at. So now, I'm gonna come back in here, I'll switch buckets. We didn't hit rock, we did hit some harder stuff. I'm gonna start hogging, probably take about a 16-foot pass here, throw the dirt that way, because all the dirt has to end up over on the pile in front of that bulldozer. So I think we'll take one pass here, throw it as far as we can. I don't have a dozer operator today, I'm doing both. So the next pass may just end up in a windrow over there until I can get Jerry or find time to do it myself. So, yep. Hopefully there's big bucket digs here. We'll, like I said, take probably about a 12 to 14 foot pass here. Then we'll dig that last perimeter when we make our last pass across there. Probably 3 passes back across here to get her done. So, alrighty, make her happen. Alright guys, unfortunately this is where I'm going to have to call it quits after today. I'm probably right at halfway done. I didn't have a dozer man today. It killed me jumping back and forth between machines. I have to throw a pile up there and then push it. I was able to get a little bit back there. Jerry's coming tomorrow to give me a hand, so hopefully we can knock it out pretty quick. I'm not quite halfway across, but that side's, I mean, this side's 9 foot deep and that corner's 3 foot deep. So I think yardage wise, I've moved about half the dirt, but I got a couple other meetings I got to get to this evening, so that's where I'm going to leave it at for today. And we'll be back in the morning. Hopefully by lunch, we got this thing pretty close to ready to put footers in. All right, guys, we are fired up and rolling here this morning, and we're finally hitting on all cylinders. We're moving pretty good on this basement. Big difference maker is I got Jerry back here on the dozer. He's keeping the dirt away from me so I can just keep on pitching, which makes a huge difference. And the contractor changed where he wanted the dirt stockpiled, which is considerably closer to the hole than when we were going yesterday. So combination of having a second operator and not having to push the dirt as far, making a pretty big difference. Luke's down there, he's running grade for me, so I don't have to jump out and check grade occasionally. And he's also just taking shovel and hand rake, going around and getting these former drain basements, what you'll see later. You basically dig the hole to the bottom of the footer and then you come back and fill in with about 8 inches of rock. It's you kind of want to leave the center just a little bit high and be right on the money around the edges, where your actual footer goes. That way all the water, you don't want to be low out in the middle. One, you don't want water to stay in there, and two, it's just that much more rock. So we kind of dig it within reason, kind of a little bit of a dome bottom, if that makes sense. But I'd say we're probably about hour and a half, 2 hours away from having this sucker dug out if everything keeps on and clicking on the way it is. This is some really, really, really good dirt. This is like the ideal, perfect material to be building a lake or a pond out of. But we're not doing that. We're digging the basement, so we're gonna keep on carrying on here a little bit. I'll check back in with you guys here in a little bit. All right, guys, we about got the basement dug. We are rounding up the last few little bits of crumbs here in the corner. It turned out pretty good. It ended up being a pretty nice hole. I guess the real trick will be, we'll see if the basement fits in the hole. That's kind of crucial to the whole operation. So anyways, I'll snap a few pictures for you guys so you can take a look at it and check her out. And that'll be it for this video. Like always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And we will catch you on the next one.